Today we're going to cover the bill of lading scam. I want to cover some really shady shit that has been going on for quite some time. As the majority of you know, bill of ladings are issued by freight companies to allow for tracking shipments. Normally, the seller delivers the cargo to the sea carrier at the port of loading, and the sea carrier issues a bill of lading to the seller. The seller then sends the original bill of lading to the buyer of the cargo or consignee. The consignee presents the bill of lading to the carrier at the port of unloading, who in return issues a delivery order to enable the consignee to collect the cargo from the port. Simple, right? A freight forwarder may also be used, acting as an intermediary. So, what's the scam? Unfortunately, when you combine the complicated process involved with international shipping and the number of entities involved can be taken advantage of by scammers. One of the ways scammers look to defraud buyers is by creating fraudulent documents such as bills of lading. So, number one, theft of cargo through forged documents. In this instance, the scammer fabricates a bill of lading in an attempt to impersonate the consignee, and so receives the cargo from the carrier. When the bill is issued in favour of the bearer, i.e. not a specific person, the fraudster may try to obtain and fabricate the bill so as to claim the right of delivery. When the bill is to order, i.e. in the name of a specific person and transferable, the scammer might fabricate the bill and an endorsement from the consignee to himself. When the rightful consignee asks the carrier for the delivery of the cargo and presents the original bill, the carrier will explain that it delivered the cargo against genuine original bills, having already been duped by the counterfeit bill presented by the fraudster. So here are 4 possible ways to avoid this scam. Number 1. Up-to-date copy of the bill of lading. The carrier needs something to compare potential freights with. It is difficult for the fraudster to keep up with changes in the bill of ladings. So by reissuing the bills with updates, fraudsters will be caught out. Number 2. Making sure that the bill is printed on the right paper. Colour, density, and even texture should be checked. If the paper doesn't match up, then you are likely dealing with a fake. Number 3. Making sure there are no obvious spelling mistakes. A lot of faked bills are not standardised documents and are not seen by as many set of eyes as the real bill. That means fewer people have reviewed them to notice errors, and spelling mistakes cannot be found. Number 4. Watermark. This is a very helpful way to check the authenticity of the bill. If the original bill has a watermark, then the bill which is presented on delivery should also carry that watermark. Okay, so number 2. Thefts of cargo through other fraudulent means. Other fraudulent methods used by criminals can involve conspiracies between the consignee and the forwarder. For example, a shipper enters into a sales agreement with a consignee for the sale of a certain cargo. The condition of payment is documents against payment, whereby the consignee's banker should deliver the documents of the shipments, including the house bills of lading issued by the forwarder against the payment of the price of the shipment. The shipper has delivered the cargo to the forwarder, and the latter issues the house bills of lading. In return, the forwarder receives the bill of lading from the sea carrier and keeps it. The consignee has not paid the price of the cargo, so the bank has not delivered the house original bills to it. However, The forwarder presents the sea carrier's bills to the sea carrier's agent and obtains the delivery orders. The forwarder then gives these to the consignee, who then presents them to receive the cargo without presenting the original house bills of lading. This results in the consignee receiving the cargo without making payment to the shipper. So, how to avoid this kind of scam? Avoid relying on two bills of lading when delivering cargo against documents. If possible, rely on the ocean bill of lading rather than the house bill issued by the forwarder. And point number 3, improper use of documents. In some instances, the carrier and the shipper misuse the bill of lading, and the victim here could be the consignee or the authorities. Examples include 1. Misdating. This is a manipulation of the dates when the cargo was loaded onto the ship. Predating a bill by more than a day constitutes fraud. Any damage to the cargo will then be attributed to the long time voyage. Also, sometimes the shippers want to fulfill the timing obligations under the letter of credit. 2. Incorrect description of cargo. This may be an incorrect description of the quality, quantity or condition of the cargo on board. The most common mistake is declaring the cargo clean on board, meaning undamaged, when the cargo is in fact damaged. 3. Under deck bills of lading for cargo shipped on deck. Cargo claimed as shipped under deck when they were actually shipped above decks. Cargo on deck is more exposed to the elements and is not so good for sensitive cargo. 4. Incorrect port of loading. The bill shows the wrong port of loading for the cargo. Mostly this is used to avoid boycotts, import quotas and other restrictions on trade between specific countries, and usually happens at waypoints along the transit route. 5. Inaccuracies in the particulars of the cargo. Sometimes the shipper gives false particulars of the cargo as the exact weight so as to defraud the consignee. The shipper can, however, be held liable for any inaccuracy in the particulars provided by him concerning the cargo and which have been written on the bill. The shipper will be held responsible for this even if it occurred by accident during the loading and unloading operations. Also, the carrier will not be responsible for loss or damage sustained by the cargo if the shipper has deliberately stated false particulars on the bill of lading relating to the nature or value of the cargo. How to notice and avoid improper use of documents. Check the other documents of the shipment to ascertain the correct dates and information. For example, the mate's receipt, survey reports and legalised certificate of origin, which will state the exact port of loading. Unfortunately, the presence of fraudsters and scammers during the shipping process can never be removed. But, as explained, there are a number of ways to detect and avoid them, and parties involved must remain vigilant at all times. In the next video, I will be covering the copper industry. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe for more content, keeping you updated and safe. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.